that?
That is the destiny.
No, I mean, what's it made out of? I meant. Oh, all right. We all know what it is.
I would like an edible destiny.
Would you really? What would you like it made out of? Yeah.
Donuts.
Donuts?
Donuts?
Yeah. I don't know how that would work.
No, I Skittles.
Skittles, Destiny. Now, is there a reason why you brought the prop on the stage? Are you going to like fly around in it?
We think it's awesome.
We're going to gate somewhere. We're going to charge it in a star.
So if you could gate anywhere, where would you gate right now?
I would not take my flight home, I would gate home. Bobby Carlyle wanted to have a gate in his backyard in Scotland and one on the set in Vancouver so he could go home every night. That was clever.
That's pretty cool.
Very clever. Yeah.
Can we make that happen for him?
Yes. The gates are for sale. Unfortunately, you have to buy 2 of them because you can't go anywhere with one. They're $20 million each.
Oh, is that it?
They're really expensive.
Well,
But they move. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Cross, give a warm round of applause. So, how y'all doing today?
Good.
How's the show treating you?
Good. It's great.
How do you know your fans? You're cold?
Yes. It's always really cold in these places.
Well, you know what?
Chilly down here.
All the love in the room is going to warm you up.
Aww. All the brotherly love.
I'm lying, I'm sorry.
He's been the whole time.
So let's start off.
All right.
Right now, Stargate was one of the longest running series in American television, science fiction series. How did it go about that you get the phone call for to get on Stargate Universe?
You want to go first?
Sure. I actually auditioned a handful of times for Atlantis. Like anything, if you understand being a working actor in Los Angeles, you audition like 8,000 times before you get a job. And it was one of those things, you know, I auditioned, and so I went in for TJ originally in September of '08, and they called me back and they said they love you, they think you're great, they want you for Chloe. And I was like, really? And there was no script available. There was just like a bunch of spec sides. And so I read the sides for Chloe, and I was like, I don't know, I can't see it, guys. And I'm like, no, really, Chloe, it's gonna be good. I was like, okay, well, we'll talk about it. And they had me come back in and read for Chloe. And they're like, perfect, they're gonna test you. In December, this was September. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. It'll go away or something. Sure enough, December comes around and they test me. And they're like, yeah, they didn't really like you for Chloe. I was like, I know! I told you! And so they offered me the role of TJ. And I was like, yeah. So there we go. And I am TJ.
Yes, you are. Like Alaina, I live in Vancouver, not like Alaina, but I had also read for Stargate, for SG1, and for Atlantis quite a few times. And I ended up doing an episode of Atlantis called Irresistible. And I played Richard Hines' head wife. It was awesome. But then when SGU came around, so I think they were familiar with me. And I read first for Andrea Palmer. And then I actually got put on hold for Riley, which ended up being a male character. And then like a
very
week,
sexy Riley.
yeah, I could drop it down. I don't know. And then a week later, same thing. You know, you get a page of sides, so it was very limited. They were very secretive with what the characters were about. But as soon as I read Vanessa James, I was like, this is where I want to be. So she was kick-ass right from the beginning. So, and then I found out I was going to be Vanessa. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
So, are there any, sorry, you want to say something?
Well, I was going to say, funny enough, because I first met Julia, we did weapons training, and so I had moved like my family and everything up to Vancouver. I'm from Vancouver originally, but I don't live there. I haven't lived there for my whole adult life, but except when I worked there, which is all the time. Anyways, and so I got up there, and at this point we did not have a Chloe. And Elise and I both tested for Chloe, but they hadn't made the decision on whether or not to cast her. I don't really know what the holdup was. But so when I first met her, I was like, yes, there's a Chloe! And it wasn't Chloe.
I'm so not a Chloe. Elise is so Chloe.
Elise is totally Chloe. But I had walked into that a little bit late because I just got there and I underestimated traffic and you guys were already like into it, so I didn't do a formal introduction. And anyways, that was when I first met you. And she was holding a big machine gun. It's awesome.
First time ever. That training was wicked. It was a
awesome.
lot.
Actually, I was the only one with like all
You
the
had
gun
done
and
it.
fighting experience.
Yeah, I was more like holding it and it was firing me back 10 feet. I was like shell-shocked at first. Yeah.
It was fun.
So what did the weapons training entail? Like, yeah.
We have a military technical advisor. We have several of them. Everything from the way we wear our hair and our uniforms and would stand, and we did several drills and exercises.
Yeah, we had a couple of days. We did that, and Ron Bleffer was his name, and he was incredible with us. Remember we did a bunch of psychological exercises as well. I remember we had some intense
He
moments.
sent me to the bathroom crying.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to try and help you get in the mindset.
It worked.
Not that she went.
I climbed in the bathroom.
It was amazing. Alaina was bawling. It was awesome. No, yeah.
He's a special ops guy. Like he's
Yeah,
the
it
real
was
deal.
intense.
And he's super intense, and he did this one. It's like you were stumped on that. Remember for the longest time.
Yeah.
He did
I couldn't answer.
She couldn't answer. It was this like psychological thing. Like what would you do? And the scenario was you basically had to take care of two little girls that had, I guess, outseen you, and you didn't want them to help you because you were on this special ops. And what would you do? And he just stares at you, and you're thinking like, well, they have to get rid of them. And two of the guys were like, I killed them. And I was like, and she was like, I can't kill a little girl. I went to the bathroom and I was like, I know a little girl.
Yeah. It was super
It was really
intense.
intense. It was
Yeah. But it was pretty incredible to get us into the mindset of playing military, you know, because that was obviously for the two of us a huge part of our character.
Well, because then he came up to me and he's like, I'm so sorry that you had it right. No one would kill those little girls, just so you know. And I was like, no, just the thought that people are out there
Having to make
doing this and
decisions.
having to make decisions like this was what
Yeah.
really got to me.
Yeah.
Not like actors. You just have to order lunch.
And what did you order from? No, just, do we have any questions in the audience before I continue? All right, I do have a question from someone in the audience.
Okay.
Gentlemen would like to know, if the show continued, where do you see your characters going?
Mine died, remember?
So we're saying heaven or hell,
Like,
and,
before that.
where that journey
They
after
killed the
that?
doctors on Stargate. No, I was promised with the whole ALS storyline that I wouldn't die. They were like, we promised we're not killing you even if the show goes for 10 years. So that was
I
positive.
can't kill you. Come on.
I'm the only blonde.
TJ Rock.
That's not the only reason they shouldn't have killed you.
Yeah, I was the only medic too.
Yeah.
They couldn't kill me.
You're like, look, I had a cold, what do I do? The medic said, oh no.
I had job security. I don't know. They had a 5-year plan. Brad knows. We should get Brad.
Can you get Brad on the phone, please? That's my cell phone, we'll just find out. You're like,
I'll
you're
shoot him a little
Philly.
email.
Yeah.
Brad, Philadelphia wants to know.
Do it.
Do it.
Text them. I don't know. I want to go fight some more aliens. I mean, James, you know, got the opportunity to kick some butt occasionally, and I
And be in
think,
charge.
yeah, I definitely would have loved to see her stand up a little more and, you know, lead some more missions and things like that, and come into her own, because that was always her battle, right? So I wanted to see her kick a little more butt.
I think it would have been, and I know for a fact that it would have happened. They definitely were wanting to do more crossovers with Atlantis and SG1 actors. I think the population of the fan base thought if they could just get rid of us, they'd bring Atlantis back. And
Not you guys, though, right?
but indeed, that's actually further from the truth, because if our show were more successful, there's a better chance of having more of a budget to do the Atlantis movie that they wanted to do. I know I answered this question 1,000 times this weekend, but for any of you guys wanting to know, they tried very hard to put a movie together. The plan was, now everyone knows MGM is no longer. It's now being run by Spyglass. It's still MGM for all fancy purposes. But Spyglass is not interested in Stargate, and so therefore would not fund the movie. So we had to look, we as in Brad, had to look for money elsewhere, and came very close several times. His plan, from what I understood from the emails and conversations we had with everybody, was he wanted to do 2 movies, one to finish out our storyline, and one an all-star cast that they thought they'd shoot in Hawaii. I don't know why they couldn't get the funding, but they couldn't. And I thought that would have been a really great way to sort of close out the series. To me, it's really unfortunate that we didn't, that the franchise and the producers didn't get the opportunity, given their long track record, to finish out the story.
So maybe I don't know, but why did they cancel this? I mean, it was my favorite of all the SGI series.
Yeah.
It always comes down to numbers. It really does, and I mean, they're gonna have to address the Nielsen ratings and how they start calculating things, because we had so many fans that would, our iTunes downloads were huge, and, DVR and Netflix, like there's all these different things. So TV, I think, is changing. It's in, they have to readdress how they're gonna count those.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what I mean, was it too grainy? Was it too intelligent?
No, it was numbers.
What was it?
They said we didn't have enough ratings, which I don't think is accurate.
Do
But
we have any
it's
questions?
always numbers,
Yeah, good, right here.
I love your bias, but I love that you're brunette, so that's why
Thank you. I think you're brunette, whatever. I have been.
Yeah, you were brunette on paper.
I'm gonna go back.
I was wondering, I know that they just had an auction, maybe?
Yeah, yesterday.
Were you guys able to keep the characters from the show, or?
Did you go to the, I don't.
Did everyone hear that in the back?
No.
You guys heard that? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She asked about the auction.
John Lennox gave me the back of my chair.
Oh yeah, we got our chair.
So we got our
backs.
chair backs, which is cool.
We got our chair backs back.
That's a big deal for actors. When you walk on set and you have your name on your chair, that's kind of like a cool
Especially when
moment.
you're a supporting character and you get one. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it was like it was, and then when you 10 years in, you get an extra fancy chair, not just a regular
So is
chair.
that your rank, your chair?
And your trailer.
Big status. Big
Yeah.
status in the chairs.
We
No,
argue
but
over
for-
trailers.
For me and Patrick and Peter and Jen, because we were all in the same position. They were regulars, like Alaina and Elise and all of them. And we just knew that we were doing 3 episodes when we first got cast, so that was it. So it was kind of episode to episode for a season. So, everyone goes back and you're like, am I dead? Did I make it? And then you do die, but you're like, oh, but it's sci-fi, so it's okay, I'm coming back. Yeah. And then we knew that they were going to keep us around for season 2. And then we got on chairs.
Yeah.
And that was a big moment. Yeah.
I think didn't Patrick make his own chair out of tape?
He totally did. Did he run David Blue's chair or something? He took out somebody's
That's funny.
name. Yeah, he took out somebody's name and made his
And
own
made his
name on
own
a chair.
chair.
Yeah.
I think it was just a cast chair. Was it
Who knew, right?
Yeah. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Get your own chair and you're a Sears regular.
Do we have another question right here, sir?
So, I know the Stargate Universe started filming, the production was after the Stargate Atlantis had ended, but was there, do you have any stories about this initiation right into the Stargate, concept of the cast and crew? The crew had been, a lot of them were the same crew from the older Stargate franchise, so did they have any initiation parties or any kind of
Hazing, like sorority hazing. I think
you guys have fans.
Get this drunk. Yeah.
Get my lunch for a week.
Yeah. I feel like I walked in, same with Smallville actually, I feel like I walked into a gigantic family and including the cast. I'm friends with all Atlantis and SG1 for the most part. The one I've met, everyone's been awesome. I will say, when I first read the pilot, I don't know if it was a combination of moving and settling in Vancouver or what, but I had to read it 5 times and I was like, what? It was really confusing to me. And then I go back and I'm like, oh, okay, but because there's so many, I think there were 30 principal characters in the pilot. So just to sort of, and you have no face to put to the name, that I found extremely overwhelming. And then Andy Makita and Will Waring, who else? Peter DeLuise. We had a bunch of directors who are ongoing, and they've been with the franchise the entire time, and so they know what they're doing. They speak Stargate, and and we just sort of put trust in them.
Yeah, and adding to that, like you said, a lot of the crew has been there forever. So, you know, you step on set and you instantly feel a sense of family. Like everybody knows each other, and the cast, we got along so well.
Off the bat.
You know, we went like up to Whistler, everyone hung out there. We'd have like poker games, people come over. You know, like it really kind of happened instantly.
Birthday parties.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Picnics with everybody. One thing, again, to add to that, even though we walked into this big family, the idea was we were doing a totally different show. So it was sort of like, we didn't need to know anything about the Furlings. Or any of that, because I still don't know what that is. Did I even say it right? But that, we didn't need to know any of the mythology. I walked into the office the first day, and there's a Bible of the mythology. It's fan-made, and it's like this thick. It's incredible, of like 15 years of the mythology. And I said to Brad, I was like, wow. He's like, I made all that crap up. It's awesome to see how like fantastic our minds can be.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yes.
Do we have any other questions from the audience, right here in front?
How much of the actual universe did you guys know before? Did they teach you any of the universe kind of things? Like, because when you guys were talking to the stones and everything, like that's directly from SG1 and stuff.
Right.
Was there any time where like I have no idea what this is, but I'm just gonna play it off like it's been my universe.
The whole 2 years.
No, you get to know it.
Yeah, you get to know it, and you always do your research as an actor, right? And if you don't know what's going on, and it's really, well,
I'm just kidding.
or you're just so pretty and so naturally talented that you don't have to do your research. But yeah, and there's always people on set that are there to help you out,
We have
so.
script supervisors. Again, the directors are ongoing directors that know the franchise so well, and then other actors. We had Shanks a handful of times.
We had David Blue.
We had David Blake. David really is Eli. I swear to it.
He was amazing. He'd be like, David, I don't get it. What's going on? Yeah. He'll walk you through it.
He'll walk you through it. He knows everything. He watched everything Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
And Stargate. What was I going to say about that though? I don't remember.
It's okay, we'll go to the gentleman right here in the green shirt.
All right. Some of the special features have included walkthroughs of the Destiny sets, which appear to be extremely complex, very detailed, lights all over the place. But what was the experience of acting on those like? Did you have a problem for bumping into things? They weren't exactly OSHA approved, even though they're very impressive.
I don't think I ever ran into anything. But I mean, the set.
She has that big helmet to protect her.
Yeah. Boing, yeah. But our sets were like out of this world. They were incredible, and a lot of actors. We had a lot of big actors come on that have done big features, and Robert Carlyle being one of them, and he always talked about that. He's like the set. On our show, he's like, is first class. They were really, really incredible, which helps you so much when you're sitting in the shuttle and you can visualize everything. It's pretty cool. The detail is amazing.
Well, and James Robbins, who designed our sets, it has been a part of the franchise the entire time as well. And he's very clever, very creative. He does all the, remember that big alien in The Hunt that was like a dinosaur type thing? He hand draws it all, and then he puts it in the computer, and we have visuals. They're so well organized at that office. We had we had the full-on Destiny visuals, all of the diagram of what the ship was, where the corridors were that we were shooting in. We were very well informed. Also, a lot of the sets, the Destiny, the mess is also the infirmary. The gate room is also the storage